it's up to you what you do, obviously. If you want to look at your phone every day and scroll and stuff like that, that's up to you. But I think what I've realised, there is a massive price to pay. I don't think people really talk about this. So years and years ago, we didn't have this constant stream of information. We didn't have this constant comparison, this constant energy around us, which, if I'm honest, creates a hell of a lot of anxiety, a lot of unrest, a lot of exhaustion even, and more importantly, it affects not only how you view yourself, but it actually, in its extremes, prevents you from seeing yourself and what you genuinely need. Or it also affects how you see others, or don't see them, which is more to the point. You're less likely to notice if someone needs help or if someone's upset, because you're consuming such a vast amount of information. You're trying to decide, you're trying to make sense of that constantly. So if you really want to feel better about yourself, or not necessarily feel better, but if you actually want to know what's going on a bit more, and you want a bit more clarity, and you want some calm in your life, some peace, really contemplate minimising your daily phone usage, because I feel like it's one of the biggest problems that we're facing now, and I don't think people realise just how damaging it is. Like, everyone talks about having a digital detox and all this, that, the other. I don't think a digital detox is enough. I feel like as a rule, you should live life with your own eyes. You should live life with your own soul. You shouldn't be constantly glued to something that is changing your perception of life. If you're constantly seeing negative images or, carefully placed things on social media, because they are deliberately put there to get an emotion or to get a reaction. If you're constantly viewing this stuff, it's going to affect your overall life and your overall feeling about the way life is and the way society is, which is giving you a skewed outlook. If you was to take that away, you'd feel better, because your reality then would change from what you're looking at there to what is real in your life. Now, people's lives are pretty basic, yeah? You've got like your loved ones around you and your friends, you probably go to work, and like years ago, that's all we had. We had a very small life, yeah? Don't get me wrong, like, the internet opens up the whole world. You end up talking with people in other countries, just like that, and all this other stuff, which is great. And it opens up your world, it opens up your knowledge of things, which I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. But what what I think is a bad thing is it overstimulates you to the point that it's unhealthy, and you forget that your small little world is actually a good little world and can often give you all you need. And I feel like we've lost ourselves a bit there, because if you're constantly looking at the bigger picture, you're not noticing the beauty of the small picture. You can't look at everything. You can't look at the big picture without fucking up the small picture. And I feel that the small picture is probably all we've really got. The small picture is our reality. It's our personal reality. When I say the small picture, I mean our friends, our family, the people that are important to us, the things that are important to us. You know, the things that we do, like our creative pursuits, all that stuff. So, to wrap it up, I feel to feel better in general, you've got to realise that I think if you want to be more creative and get your spark back in life, and I think just have a better baseline of happiness, I feel like you've got to fuck a lot of this stuff off. Sorry, pardon my language. You've got to let it go. If you are going to look at your phone, why not do it in a more productive way? Why not do it when you're in control? For example, if you want to find something out, why don't you go and look then? When you want something, use your phone. The phone is a great tool, especially with AI. We can find out anything we want. I love AI. I think it's fantastic. Like, it's helped me out loads of times. Like if I'm doing technical stuff, if I want to find something out with my music, or you know. But when you become dependent on it and you're just randomly using it without any real thought, it then becomes a crutch like the rest of it. It's like the scrolling, because it's unconscious. You're just picking up your phone when you feel uncomfortable, and then that becomes an addiction, like smoking. That's where you don't want to be, man, and that's when it starts interfering with your life, to the extent where you start not noticing important things. You start not noticing, you know, things that mean something to you, and it genuinely hijacks your mind. So I know you might be watching this video now, but I would really contemplate beginning to at least even think about this stuff, because it's been a long journey for me. I mean, I know that inherently it's bad for you. I know that, but it's took me a long time to really understand just how bad it is and just what the cost is. And it's a bigger cost than what you realise. I feel like for me personally, it's robbing me of not only my time, but it took away my creative energy. Because to be creative, you need to get rid of the noise, because you need to pick up on things. As a creative, you need to notice the world. You need to know what's going on. And I feel like when you're constantly on your phone, you don't know what the fuck's going on, because your face is in the screen. How can you know what's going on around you properly when you're so invested in the screen? So it's just food for thought. Anyway, take care, boys and girls.